Good afternoon. My presentation is on the title Thripurasura Myth in the Narrative Sculptures of Kerala. The word Thripurasura is derived from two Sanskrit words, Thri and Puram, literally means three fortified cities. The Thripurasuras were the three demon brothers who ruled the three mythical cities roaming the skies. The Vajrayana Samhita, a commentary on Yajurveda, has the earliest reference of the Tripura. The text says Agni swallowed the three castles of the demons acquired through austerities. The Shatapatha Brahmana says the Asuras born of Prajapati began to threaten the gods, and Indra decided to put an end to it. Then Indra recast his thunderbolt into a celestial weapon with Agni as its pole, Soma as its iron rod, and Vishnu as the spike. Taittiriya Samhita is the text which introduces Rudra to the scene. The text says Rudra was the only one capable of wielding such a great weapon, though he shot the arrow against the Asuras and destroyed their castles. The mythology of Thripurasura. The mythology of Thripurasura in detail is available in the epic Mahabharata, and its different variants are available in Shiva Purana, Linga Purana, Padma Purana, Bhagavata Purana, and Varaha Purana. The story says, after the death of Tarakasura, his three sons, Taragaksha, Kamaraksha, and Vidyamali were engaged in tremendous penance, and Brahma was pleased with their devotion. The Asuras requested a particular boon with certain conditions to Brahma. Those conditions are, they would reside in three cities built in heaven, ether, and earth. The triple cities will move around the planet and will meet each other only once in 1,000 years. Whoever wishes to kill them would have to destroy the three cities with one hit of a single weapon. Brahma granted their wish, and Maya made a golden city in the heaven for Taragaksha, a silver city in the atmosphere for Kamalaksha, and an iron city on the earth for Vidyamalin. Then the Tripurasuras invited all the Rakshasas earlier vanquished by the Celestials and declared war against Indra. Then the vanquished Indra sought the advice of Brahma to destroy the Asuras, and Brahma advised Indra to confer Shiva. Shiva agreed to help them to eliminate the Tripurasuras and said he would provide half the might to kill the demons, and the remaining half should accumulate from all the gods. Then Vishwakarma is appointed to equip Shiva's arsenal by assembling the gods' unique potencies. He made a mighty arrow created with Vishnu as its tip, Soma as its head, and Agni as its shaft. Vishwakarma made a celestial chariot for Shiva that nobody had seen before, and Brahma was appointed as the charioteer of the Ratha. Then Shiva awaited 1,000 years to get the perfect shot and destroyed the Tripura with a single hit. Many Agama texts including Suprabhedagama, Uttarakamikagama, Amshimatbhedagama, Purvakaranagama, and Aparajita Pracha, and some indigenous works like Ishana Shiva Gurudeva Padadi, Shilparatna are mentioned, the iconography of Tripurandaka Murti, but there are no guidelines for making the image of the Asuras. Shilparatna says other features including the Asuras should portray according to the artistic sense of the artisan. The sculptural evidence for Thripuradahanam. Thripuradahanam was one of the favorite themes of sculptors across the country. The Tripurandaka images are generally seen as single sculptures, though they are rarely presented in narrative panels. The earliest representation of Thripuradahanam are available in early medieval art of Pallava, Chalukya, and Rashtrakuta. Then it is popularized in the medieval period, and it included in the arts of later Chalukya, Chola, Pandya, Hoysala, Chandela, Pratihara, and Vijayanagara and Nayaka. In addition to this, some later schools of Nepal, Mysore, and Kerala also included the Thripuradahanam in their sculptural art. This slide shows the earliest representations of Tripurandaka Murti. The first image shows a Rashtrakuta style Tripurandaka from Kailasanatha temple at Ellora. The second is a Pallava style Tripurandaka Murti. It is from Kailasanatha temple at Kanchipuram. The third image is a Chalukya style Tripurandaka from Badami. The first image in this slide is a Pandya style Tripurandaka from Vizhinjam Dakshinamurti temple in Kerala, and the second image is a Hoysala style Tripurandaka from Vidyarayeshwara temple in Sringeri, and the third image is a Chandela style Tripurandaka from Central India. The first image in this slide shows a Chola style bronze sculpture of Tripurandaka from Tamil Nadu, and second image is a Nayaka style bronze sculpture from Tamil Nadu, and the third image is a wooden Tripurandaka from Kerala. The presentation of Thripurasura in Indian sculptural art. The sculptural art is focused on narrating the Tripura Samhara form of Shiva and neglecting the presence of the Asuras. Most of the early sculptures did not portray the images of Tripurasuras. However, if they are depicted, it can be conveyed in two forms. Those are aniconic and anthropomorphic forms. The aniconic forms may be presented as three small mansions floating in the sky, as shown in the first image in this slide. The anthropomorphic forms of Tripura are available in single panels and narrative sculptures. In single panels, they may be presented as an Asura can be seen as carrying Shara and Dhanus while flying, as the second image in this slide, or three demons can be seen inside three levitating mansions and roaming in the skies, as the last image in this slide. During the later periods, the three Asuras are depicted about to attack Shiva carrying different weapons, and they presented inside three circular patterns. This style was originally started by the Hoysalas, and it was popularized in the art of Vijayanagara and Nayaka. The images in this slide shows the appearance of Asuras in three circular patterns. In the narrative panels, the three Asuras may be presented as carrying different weapons and about to attack Shiva, as shown as the image in the left side, or the three Asuras in three castles about to fall to the fire, as shown in the image in the right side. The Tripurasuras in Kerala literature. Many of the Keralite works mention the story of Tripuradahanam since 8th century CE. The major works are Soundaryalahari by Shankaracharya, Tripuradahanam Yamaka Kavyam by Vasudeva Bhattadiri, Ishana Shiva Gurudeva Paddhati by Ishana Guru, Shilparatnam by Sri Kumara, Tripuradahanam Chambu by an anonymous author, Tripuradahanam Parayam Tullal by Kunja Nambyar, Tripuradahanam Atakada by an anonymous author. The Mahabharata and Purana primarily inspire the content of these works. The author of the Tripuradahanam Chambu of 17th century significantly altered the theme of the Tripuradahanam story. This work also influenced later works, especially the Tripuradahanam Parayantullal Katha of 18th century and Tripuradahanam Atakatha of 19th century. And the Tripuradahanam narrative sculptures in Kerala were sculptured according to the story of Chambu, Tullal Katha and Atakatha. The Tripurasura in the narrative sculptures of Kerala. The narrations of Tripurasura begins with a poet singing Tripuradahanam to instill devotion in the minds of the young people. The story says the three sons of Taragasura who performed penance to seek revenge on the Devas killing for their father. Impressed by their devotion, Shiva appeared before them and asked them to express their desires. Then the Asuras went into great detail about their needs. The first image in this slide shows the poet singing Tripuradahana Kavyam to instill devotion in the minds of young people. The second scene shows the penance of Tripurasuras in the middle of fire. The third scene is appearance of Shiva before the Tripurasuras. And the fourth scene is Asuras detailing their needs to Shiva. Upon hearing the wishes of the Asuras, Shiva granted them 3 invisible castles. The Asuras then used the power of the bones to attack Indra, ultimately defeating him. The first scene in this slide shows Shiva granting 3 invisible castles to the Tripurasuras. And the second image is the Tripurasuras declaring war against Indra. And the third image is the battle between Tripurasuras and the Indra. Eventually, Indra was vanquished and he retreated from the battlefield and sought the help of Brahma to defeat the Tripuras. However, Brahma said that he was not powerful enough to stop the Tripuras, so they decided to visit the abode of Vishnu for assistance. The first image in this slide shows Indra and other Deva falling back from the battlefront. The second image is Indra and Narada consult Brahma. The third image is Brahma advised them to visit the abode of Vishnu. And the fourth image is Indra and Brahma visiting Vishnu at Vaikunta. Vishnu refused to attack the followers of Shiva. Then they all went to see Shiva together. After reaching the abode of Shiva, Vishnu asked Shiva to defeat the Tripuras. But Shiva refused the request of Vishnu because he did not want to harm his followers. Then Vishnu told Brahma that the only way to defeat the Tripuras was to end their devotion to Shiva. So they came up with a plan and asked Narada to help Vishnu. The first image in this slide shows the discussion between Brahma and Vishnu. The second scene is Indra, Brahma and Vishnu visiting the Uma Maheshwara. The third scene is the discussion between Shiva and Vishnu. The fourth image is Vishnu and Brahma devising a plan to kill the Thripurasuras. And the final scene is Vishnu appointing Narada to assist him in executing their plan. Then Vishnu disguised himself as a Buddhist sage and Narada disguised as his devotee. The sage preached his atheist philosophy to his devotee while sitting under a Bodhi tree. One day, the Tripuras visited them and claimed that Shiva was the only god, but the sage was disagreed. Then the sage challenged the Tripurasuras to vanish themselves, but they failed. Then the sage and his devotee vanished themselves, causing the Tripurasuras to lose their beliefs in Shiva. The first scene in this slide shows Vishnu and Narada in disguise. The second scene is Tripura Asuras visiting the hermitage of the Buddhist sage. The third scene is Tripuras arguing with the sage and his devotee. And the fourth scene is the sage and his devotee disappearing. After these incidents, Narada told Shiva that the Tripurasuras had thrown away the symbols important to Shiva and became atheists. Shiva became very angry at the Tripurasuras and he asked the assistance of the Devas to attack the Tripurasuras. Then he rode into the battlefield on a chariot that driven by Brahma. After reaching the battlefield, at first Shiva warned the Tripurasuras to reconsider their decision. But the Asuras responded with harsh words. The first scene in this image shows the Narada informs Shiva about the conversion of the Tripurasuras. The second image is Shiva asks the assistance of Devas to destroy the Tripuras. And the third scene in this slide is Shiva warns the Tripuras. By hearing the disrespectful words of the Asuras, Shiva became enraged and he engaged in a fierce battle with the Asuras. Eventually, Shiva destroyed the demons with a single strike of his arrow, and the tale concludes with the gods praising Shiva's glory. The first image in this slide shows battle between Shiva and the Tripuras, and the second image is Shiva destroying the Tripuras with a single strike of his arrow. The image in this slide shows the gods praising the glory of Shiva. The main alterations occurred in the Kerala literature and the sculptures are Shiva gave the boons to the Tripuras instead of Brahma. The second variation is in the Shiva Purana, the story of Tripuras becoming atheists is mentioned, but according to the works from Kerala, they converted to Buddhism. Both the stories in the Puranas and Kerala literature says the sage vanished the Bodhi tree, but the sculptures in Kanjirangadu Vaidyanatha temple shows the sage and his devotees vanished themselves. The iconography of Tripurasuras from Kerala. The images of Tripurasuras are always shown together. The sculptors from Kerala tried to make it easy to recognize the three asuras by giving them distinct appearances. The demon Kamalaksha always shown with black or brown complexion and an yellow castle near to him that represent the golden castle. The demon Taragasha is presented with green or blue complexion and his castle is buff in color that represent the silver castle. The demon Vidyamali is presented with black or brown complexion and his castle is black in color that represent the iron castle. Apart from the body complexion and castle colors, all the other features of the three asuras are the same. The principal ornaments of the asuras are Karandamaguda with or without lateral expansions, Vrittagundala, Rudrakshamala, Griva, Bahuvalaya, Bhujavalaya, Keyura, Kankana, Kadisutra, Padavalaya, and they draped in full lower garment decorated with sashes, pleats, loops, and folds. The principal attributes of the asuras are the bows and arrows. They can either hold in their hands or hang them on the shoulders in peaceful situations. However, during the times of war, they draw their bows and arrows to fight against their enemies. The facial expressions of the asuras. The Kerala art is known for its notable feature of capturing facial expressions. In particular, the Thripurasuras are depicted with a range of different expressions. When engaged in devotion, they are shown with a pleasant face. However, when arguing or attacking an enemy, their expression became ferocious. In another instance, they appear wounded when the sage vanished the Bodhi tree. Additionally, they are shown as submissive when Shiva hit their castle with his powerful arrow. In conclusion, Tripuradahanam is a popular subject in Indian sculptural art with a focus on the depiction of Tripurandaka Shiva images. However, the story of Tripurasuras is less commonly portrayed. The 17th century work Tripuradahanam Chambu is a notable exception, providing a detailed account of the story and inspiring the creation of librettos for performing arts. In North Kerala, the trend of sculpting stories from Tullal Katha and Atta Katha on temple walls has also led to the depiction of Tripuradahanam in sculptures. The sculptural narration of Tripuradahanam story in Kanjirangadu Vaidyanatha temple in Kannur district has been analyzed for this presentation, and it is noteworthy that this is the only sculptural narration of its kind. Notably, these sculptures features a rare portrayal of Tripurasuras, which are influenced by the elements of Kathakali, such as Karandamaguda with lateral expansion, Vrittagundala, drapery, and facial expressions. Thank you.